an ideological approach, as well as a feminist, queer, anti-racist, decolonial approach. So I really see myself as on the borderlands, as you can see, of political science and of gender, sexuality, queer studies, even as I feel very comfortable teaching in either, but I'm happiest when I'm teaching in both. And students seem to really respond to that. Students in gender, sexuality, queer studies seem to really crave politics content, critical politics content. They want to know how they can move, to quote Bob Ray, from protest to power, for example. And I don't often quote Bob Ray, but and students in political science are really craving critical approaches, interdisciplinary approaches, approaches that say, wait a minute, identity is central to politics, and power relations are broader than just the state. So that's kind of where I see myself as contributing, and then of course in a very focused way, depending on the course. But that's my general orientation that I take to my work. And my research really informs my teaching. My teaching really informs my research, and my students really inform my teaching. I really see myself as someone who likes to listen and learn from my students. And I learned so much down in Nevada in that very innovative interdisciplinary program, so much from my students. I think about the lessons that they taught me really every day. They helped me to reflect on Canada in a different way, on the Caribbean in a different way, on identity in a different way, to develop an intersectional feminist pedagogy that is less, hierarchical, that's more democratic, that includes a lot more experiential learning, that includes a lot more listening, as I was saying, and that's really important to me. And I just feel like I get so much joy out of teaching. And I've been taking some important time to write, to work on my accepted book proposal, working on my book with UBC Press that looks at queer politics in Canada and Jamaica and in the transnational relationships between the two. So that's been important to take that time. At the same time, though, I really do miss my teaching, because I feel like that's kind of my raison d'etre. And I just want to say in closing that when I teach, I try to teach across differences, across borders. So teaching down in the States as a queer Canadian during the rise of Trumpism was challenging, to be sure. And then teaching across differences can be challenging, to be sure. But I've really honed